Is that right? Am I missing anything?
Yeah, that's a lot, but we got it.
Yeah, we
can do this, guys.
Team on 3, team on me. Ready? 1, 2, 3, team.
Go. Team.
It's been a
grind.
But I think
We're going to beat that joke into the ground. So good.
It's so good.
Oh.
I think it's
iconic.
I think it's lit. We were talking about it with, Ty, Nate and I were talking about it. Like, that's just free advertising. Like,
Cheez-Its, please don't
Cheez-Its not going to be mad, bro. They're not going to be mad.
Cheez-Its, please.
At
Literally-
Cheez-Its on...
I also can't remember the
Whatever
last time I had
socials.
Cheez-Its, so maybe I need to
Maybe Cheez-Its will
Cheez-Its.
sponsor us.
Yeah, Cheez-Its either sponsor us or don't sue us. Like, one of the two.
They can't sue us, can
We
they?
don't have to be friends.
So we were actually in communications class.
We're talking
and
about media
We're
law.
talking about defamation.
We're talking
and,
about the
all that
defamation,
stuff.
like the media law. They totally could if they wanted to.
So
It's just not worth their while because we have 80 total listeners across like our 5 episodes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Hike the Y, a BYU sports podcast. Connor is going to...
sick 'em.
We're going to kick it over to Connor.
Sick.
He's going to tell us what we're going to go through today.
Heck yeah, guys. We have got a lot to talk about because of a lot has happened. All right. So we're going to start. Brandon's going to start us with a little activity. Then we're going to talk about the whole Kalani Sitake situation with the rumors of him going to Penn State and whatnot. Then we're going to review BYU's 41-21 win against UCF this last Saturday. Then we are going to talk about specifically the negative chants against the university and specifically the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints that BYU has faced multiple times this season. We'll review the college football playoff briefly, and then we'll look forward for the Big 12 championship this Saturday in Arlington, Texas against Texas Tech.
10
Heck
a.m.
yeah.
10 a.m.
Boom.
All right, guys. So we're going to start it off with a little activity. I thought this would be fun. So here's the thing. BYU is down by 1 point.
Ooh.
Let's say against Texas Tech this upcoming Saturday. And Kalani Sitake says, let's roll the dice. Let's go for 2. What is your 2-point conversion play to win it? And I'll go
Against
first.
Texas Tech.
Since I've had some time to think about this.
Tight end, back corner of the end zone. Just kidding. No.
All right, here's my play. I was thinking about this. I went through like a lot of different stuff, mostly like some crazy trick plays. But then watching the UCF game inspired me. Because I don't know if you guys remember this.
There wasn't a whole ton inspiring about that game, but okay.
Okay.
At least to start.
Hey, let him cook. Let him
What
cook.
happened is this was actually against BYU. I don't know if you remember this. UCF was on like the 2-yard line, and they hiked it directly.
The Philly special. Is that what
Sort
you're
of.
talking about?
Yeah,
It
sort
was
of.
right to
Because they
LJ, right?
Direct
no,
snap
this
to
was
the-
this
no.
was again. This was for UCF.
Oh,
they hiked
gotcha.
it right to the running back. The quarterback ran out to the left. He was wide
open.
So I'm thinking if BYU's on the 2-yard line, Texas Tech is going to bring an all-out blitz.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think the only way to combat that is if BYU is like to spread everyone out, like they have the 3 wide receivers, LJ in the backfield, like the blitz is going to get to Bear so quickly. I don't think he's going to get anything off. So if BYU compresses the field a little bit, has everyone there, and then they kind of run something really similar to the UCF play where they hike it directly to LJ. LJ maybe takes a step like he's running in, and then Bear sneaks out, and LJ just passes him for the touchdown. I think that might work. If Bear's guarded, LJ can go up the middle, hopefully can get in. I think that would be a decent 2-point conversion try.
Ooh.
I like that.
Can I just say the first thing that you said when you're gonna go for 2? Do you guys know the commercial? The go for those, go for those.
Coach, why didn't you go for 2 last year?
Yeah, it is.
Win the game.
I was just thinking that whole time I could just hear go for dose, go for dose. It's like we're going for dose.
What's your play though, Nate? What's your play?
Okay, so my play, I don't know how I don't know how I can explain it, but you know the tush push.
Yes.
It'd be like a tush-push type activity.
From the
but-
2-yard line?
Yeah, but I have like a tight end just go around, and then quarterback just does a nice little toss over the top. I've seen it done in like the NFL.
I
Like,
like
you know,
that. I
like
like
everyone
that.
lines up, and it looks like they're just about to like tush-push their way into the end zone, and then you just have a tight end go around right
they
around the
be
back
like-
and do a nice little
Would
toss.
they be like a little suspicious, though, since it's from the 2-yard line?
Maybe, I don't know, because
I don't know.
I mean, maybe you just
it's
feel
the same
so
thing for
confident.
my play, I guess.
You just feel so confident that you're just gonna go. So it's kind of like what your play is. It doesn't necessarily have to be a tight end. It just has to be someone who just gets into the end zone, gets around the back, and then like it's just like a fake tush push, but then you just like toss it over off to the side.
I like
So it's like
that.
something like, I don't know. I feel like you just don't expect that these days.
I like that.
Yep.
I'd say for me, my play, I was also inspired by the UCF game by BYU. It was LJ Martin when he did the Wildcat speed option. That was
Oh,
so
yeah.
cool. He faked the pitch to Bear and then took it himself. I think either way, you take that pitch. You've got LJ Martin, who's 225 pounds, or Bear Bachmeier, who's also about 225, 230 pounds, to get 2 yards, both over 6 feet. All they have to do after getting 1 yard is fall forward and they're in the end zone. I think that, but I like Nate's idea of the pop pass. Just fake it to hand it off to LJ, and then LJ just does a little pop pass like a Carson Ryan type guy who just sneaks past the defense into the end zone.
Yeah, who did that recently? I
fun.
feel like there's like an NFL team that recently did that. I want to say
The one I can think of that was really good was it was a while ago, but it was Derrick Henry against the Ravens back when he was on the Titans in the
Oh, yeah. I
in
remember
the
that.
AFC divisional.
The jump pass.
The jump
Yeah.
pass.
It
works.
If LJ could do something like that, I think to like a Carson Ryan, where Carson Ryan down blocks on like a linebacker and then breaks free and he's just
Usually
I
it
think he
works
could
if
be
you've got
wide
the field
open.
compressed. Yeah.
Somebody did it somebody did it in college. I don't remember who. This week, one of the rivalry games, did a little pop pass and it turned into a touchdown. I don't remember who, but I think that definitely could work.
I looked up Derrick Henry throwing like a 2-point conversion, and all I just see is him trucking like 9 dudes on his way to the end zone.
Hey man, King Henry.
What about you,
Ty,
Ty?
All right, Ty.
Okay, so as you guys know, I'm a Lions fan, and I think one of the best Lions plays from the past few years, although there have been many great ones, was the Amon-Ra St. Brown touchdown throw to Jared Goff. I know that sounds
That was
backwards,
good. I
but
like
it
that
was
one.
on Monday Night Football against the Seahawks, and I just pulled up the highlight, and it looks like Goff takes the snap. He's in shotgun, fakes the handoff to Montgomery on the right. St. Brown runs behind him, takes a pitch. St. Brown's running backwards, so he's got everyone following him. Goff just sneaks off to the left, wide open. Perfect throw. I think we do that with PK. We have Kingston take the little jet sweep action, and we know he played quarterback,
He did
right?
play quarterback in high
He's got the
school.
arm. I think that's our go-to play.
I like that.
That's a good
Oh,
play.
Jinx.
Jinx.
Yeah, that's cool because like BYU does run a lot of jet sweep with Parker Kingston.
Yeah, for sure. So
I think
they
that
would
would
think it was real
I think
if
it was
we
a real
ran it.
jet
Yeah.
because it's worked too, and he's done it. So that'd be good. Like, fake and then pass it.
I have another trick play.
Oh.
Yeah, and this comes from intramural football. I came up with this one by myself.
Okay.
So
Shout out
basically,
intramurals.
we're going to the finals for intramurals. Not to flex too hard. So hopefully the people that we're playing against, they don't hear this.
You went to the finals?
We're going to.
Dang.
Wayne, when? What day?
Like I think it's like next
Thursday?
week.
Oh,
Yeah.
next
I don't remember when the date is.
That'd be fun
Well,
if
so
I
anyways,
read.
actually my most recent game, I broke my nose.
Oh.
So I'm not going to be
yeah.
able to play. But one of the trick plays, I'm the center, and I hike the ball to the wide receiver, who's actually our quarterback. But what the quarterback does is he starts going off towards the sideline. He's like, hey, wait, one sec. And he starts running off. And as he's running off, I just pitch the ball and I go. And the ball's going to me no matter what. And it usually gets us like 20 yards every single time. And that's
so
we
sick.
we do that play every single game. No matter what we do, that's the first play. And we've done it every
Quarterback
single
just
time.
runs to the side. There's not even anyone on the sideline.
There's no film study, bro. And
Yeah, he just starts running. He just starts running to the sideline. He doesn't even get off the field, but he starts running left off the field. I throw it to the wide receiver on the right side of the field, and then he's a quarterback who just drops an absolute nuke to me. And so, like, I could see.
Would that work in a 2-yard situation?
Oh yeah,
against the best defense in the
yes,
one of the
against
best
Texas
defenses
Tech,
in the country.
it's so
Your quarterback
stupid that
running
it
off
could
the
work.
field?
It could be so stupid that it might work. Bear Bachmeier running off the field for. Oh wait. Oh fetch. Hold on. What is this? Hold on. Let me put my hands on my ears or something. snap the ball to Parker Kingston.
That's-
He throws an absolute dot.
That's actually a good point because like you see every time like the offense like does a hard count like let's go, and then like it doesn't work, and then they'll like stand up and like point and like
Yeah.
switch the play up maybe stuff like that. Everyone does that, and then you just actually hike it.
I agree. And I think
could work.
deception like that is good, but I think it's also easy if the game is like really intense, it's loud, it's super easy to mess up in those situations.
Yeah,
That's
I
so
mean,
true.
I know
Turns a 2 point into a 7.
Right.
Two yard until a 7 yard.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And not to cite another Lions example, but I'm going to. If you guys remember, they played the Cowboys. You two might have been on your missions. It was like a Monday night game in December, and the Lions ended up throwing it to Taylor Decker, one of their left tackle for the win.
And it got called off.
It got called back because they said he didn't report, even though he kind of did, and it was just a whole.
Oh my.
It was really messy. The point is like. Trickery is great, but it has to be executed to a T
Very
if you
well.
want it to to work.
Yep, but you gotta bring your best out in the biggest
true.
spots. And hey, if BYU has the opportunity to be in a game like that, that's a win all day.
Oh,
yeah.
for
Like,
sure.
Oh yeah.
We'll take that.
But actually, knowing Kalani Sitake, I feel like he'd just settle for one
Well, of
because
course,
he did go for two. Do you remember BYU versus Utah?
Yep.
It was probably his like second year as the head coach, and he went for two.
Yeah.
And we lost the game. Like he went for two, we could have won.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
Ever since then,
Taysom
he's never
Hill.
really gone for two.
The one thing that reminded me is BYU played SMU like 4 years ago in a bowl game. SMU scored a touchdown with like 7 seconds to go. They were down by 1. They went for 2. And it wasn't – oh, now I'm forgetting his name. Our best cornerback from last year.
Oh my gosh.
And I can't remember his name. I'm doing him a horrible service. But they just had a QB – like a little play action that a QB sneak and went absolutely nowhere. BYU won the game.
Yeah.
That was my inspiration for that.
Scared me
But,
though. He was a yard away.
Yeah, we
Was it
spent a
Jacob
long
Robinson?
time. Oh yeah, Jacob
Yeah,
Robinson.
he's
Jacob
cool.
Robinson.
He's a goat.
We need to get him on the pod.
Anyway,
Hey, good first segment. That was
Yeah.
actually good.
Yeah, that was
That
good.
was a good. I like that. I like that.
And
Thank
bottom
you.
line
Thank you.
takeaway, hopefully this game on Saturday is coming down to a 2-point
Heck
conversion.
yeah.
That'd be great.
If we get in that situation, I
Or,
really
or a
like it.
field
That'd be
goal.
awesome.
Actually, I don't know. Field goal.
We'll talk about that. Anyway,
we'll see. We'll see.
so guys, there was a whole saga that happened just in these last couple of days. Kalani Sitake supposedly in talks with Penn State, now looking like not so much. We're gonna go around. We're gonna take a second and talk about what are our thoughts on this whole saga and where it's going and what does it mean for both programs.
Well, sorry.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you guys know the story?
Story.
The story about like everything that was happening with Kalani Sitake. I didn't really know that there was like big of a story.
Break it down for us.
Ready? All right.
Let's do it.
So this is all coming from the Big 12 podcast. You know Drake. So
Oh, he's great. Yeah.
he was telling the story. Basically, Kalani Sitake was going to meet with BYU. He just recently got back from a trip to Penn State, and he made an emergency meeting to go talk with the football team.
Oh yeah.
And then guess what happened? He was sent to go talk to a bunch of like all of like the BYU alum.
Wait, was this week?
Yes, this week.
Wow.
He talked to Lavelle Edwards' widowed his wife.
Oh, I saw
like,
her at the game.
they,
I
like-
think she was there.
Yeah, they spoke
Crazy. All right.
about him like leaving and all this stuff. And basically it just all came down to like Kalani Sitake is needing some more funding. He's kind of like upset that he's like, dude, where's the money? I need people to pay. Like, we need more NIL money, all this stuff.
right.
And so he's kind of like upset about that, maybe going to Penn State. I didn't really think he was going to leave, but everyone kind of expected that he was going to go to Penn State. And then the Crumble Cookie guy, did you see that?
Dude,
the
that
CEO.
guy is such a W.
Crumble Cookie and also the Built. Do you guys know like the Built protein bars?
Built
Yeah,
bar,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
The Built bar. They donated like a bunch of, or like promised to donate a bunch of money. And basically, Kalani Sitake canceled the emergency meeting, and now he's telling sources that he's going to stay. So that's kind of
Yeah.
like the story that kind of led up to this.
Did we
I didn't
just
really
get
think-
saved by Crumble Cookie?
Close shave.
Yes.
Damn straight. Crumble
We should all
cookie.
go buy Crumble now. See, it worked.
I just want to say, there's this tweet right here from the guy.
From
What's
the
his name?
CEO,
It's
right?
Jason McGowan. He
Yes.
says, some people are not replaceable. Sounds like it's my time to get off the sidelines and go to work.
And within hours, Kalani announced that. Well, the sources are announcing
The
right
sources,
now. Nothing
yeah.
official yet, but that the sources are announcing that Kalani's not going anywhere.
And a person says,
Hours after Jason McGowan's tweet.
I love the first comment back. The first comment says, I will eat crumble for dinner for the rest of my life if that's what it takes. Other people, so he also started this other tweet this morning and he says, why do you love Kalani? Like, what does it mean to you to have Kalani Sitake as our head coach at BYU? Right now is the moment to let Kalani know the love. Guess who tweeted first?
Provo Dave.
Provo Dave.
Yes, sir.
Portnoy.
Dave Portnoy.
He says, I arrived in Provo as a young man on the BNK with Fox, not knowing what to expect. I was overwhelmed with all the love I received from the Cougar Nation. From Cosmo to Kalani, it was all love. From the ice cream to the dirty soda and the weird guy at the pizza shop, it was all love. Kalani Sitake danced his way into my heart. There is no other place like Provo, and Provo can't exist without BYU football, and BYU football can't exist without Kalani. Neither can #Provo Dave, #Stay Kalani Stay.
Yep.
Shout out
That's
to Provo
beautiful.
Dave.
Provo Dave, you know that. Dude,
Wow.
That's incredible.
Do
That's
you guys
awesome.
think this is an interesting question? Do you think that Kalani going to have that emergency meeting is going to have any effect on what the players, their motivation or the way they play?
Ooh,
I
good
don't
question.
think so.
I don't think so. either.
Connor, as a former football player, I'm curious.
If I was in this situation, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think you're so invested on the opponent, and if it'll show on Saturday if it has affected, but if there's so many position coaches that aren't really involved in this, so whether Kalani or even Jay Hill are getting roped into this, you got Aaron Roderick. He's not thinking about that. You've got all the offensive line coaches, the defensive line coaches, tight ends, wide receivers, everybody else that's involved. There's so many people. I don't think in high school I would have ever gotten on something like this, but these guys are of college and they have so much less reason to get involved with something like this. And so I think they're staying really focused.
I wonder if even it could help because now that Kalani is saying, okay, yeah, BYU, I'm staying. Penn State's a really good football program, and they've had a lot of success over the last long time. And so Kalani just staying with BYU, even though it's a decision, it makes sense. If you were offered a position at that kind of school, you'd think about it for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And so Kalani staying, maybe it could provide some extra motivation for BYU. Who knows?
Yeah, Penn State has reportedly, right, this is according to the sources that ESPN has, was going to give Kalani Sitake $11.6 million compared to BYU's $9.9 million, right? Kalani Sitake wants to stay.
I'll take $9.9 million all day.
He loves the Cougars, and I just think it's super awesome that he stays. Hopefully, I guess we don't have
it's not
official word
100%
from him,
certain.
but according to ESPN, according to Liam Bluntman and Pete Thamel of ESPN and Barstool Sports, that's just what they're saying.
Yeah, so a little story. I met Kalani Sitake a couple years ago, and just a super nice guy, super fun, really energetic. And then he gave us some advice. He's like, make sure you stay close with God, stay close with family, all that stuff. But the cool thing was that we went up to Utah to see General Conference, and we got a tour of the athletic facilities, and Kalani was the only one there at the BYU facilities on an off day, just working on football stuff and doing all that stuff. So it was super awesome, super cool to see his
He's a quality
dedication.
individual.
He's an awesome guy. I'm glad to have him stay, hopefully.
Well, and Elder Christopherson came to BYU today, and he was talking, and one of the first things he said is BYU football, BYU basketball, BYU athletics, just BYU in general, we're representing Jesus Christ. And every time I see Kalani Sitake get in front of the camera at a press conference or he talks about the other team, he never says anything negative. He's always so positive. After a win, you'll see it on the cut. He's always like, guys, go to church tomorrow, remember Jesus Christ. This is about family, this is about faith.
Have fun tonight,
Have
but
faith.
tomorrow we're back at it.
We're back on the grind. He's just such a wholesome guy, and he represents our church. We've got the 12 apostles and the prophet and all that, but then we also have Kalani Sitake, who's just kind of showing the example of a disciple of Jesus Christ. And like I don't mean to be like insensitive or anything, like about religion or anything like that. But he just shows how a disciple of Jesus Christ should act. And so when he's the face of our football team, I'm always so proud.
That was deep.
Yeah, I love Kalani.
Wow, Nate.
Yeah, I dug deep for that.
That was really deep, bro.
Ooh.
No, I love Kalani. And I really, my whole opinion on this, I think it would have been difficult for him to build something like what we have here over in Happy Valley. I think it's just the atmosphere is different. The culture there, what he would be inheriting is different versus what he inherited from Bronco Mendenhall in 2016. I think it's not the same as what he's getting now. And it's really kind of hostile over there. I think he was definitely thinking about it, and maybe he could have used that to leverage for BYU to get what Nate was talking about, the funding. But I don't think it would be the same if he left. It's not. Kalani's a very good coach. I don't think that it would have translated over there the same way, though. Just Mountain West or Rocky Mountain area versus East Coast, I don't think it's a completely different thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, Penn State, what you gonna do? You've just
They
spent
Sucks to suck, Penn State.
50 days since they've had a head coach. What are you gonna do? So
You know what? I saw they had Brian Dable walked out of the house with a Penn State
Brian Dable
hoodie.
is not going to Penn State. That would be wild. I do want to say one thing, a little bit contrary to kind of what we've been talking about. Was anyone like thinking Mark Pope, Kevin Young situation, like where Kalani Sitake goes somewhere else and then somehow BYU gets someone better?
I was thinking Andy Reid. Andy Reid comes down.
I was thinking Jay Hill would be a great coach.
Yeah.
I was thinking Jay Hill. Also, the problem was if Kalani were to leave, would he take Jay Hill as his new defensive coordinator?
That'd be devastating.
Is the problem?
That would be awful.
That would gut the program. It's like
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah.
But we don't have to worry about that. Yes.
sounds like reportedly.
We don't have to wait for another 6 years.
Is that's our longest contract
Yep.
is, right?
Yep.
Yep. And hopefully we extend him if he keeps doing well. So yeah. All right. Are we ready to talk about this UCF win the other
Yes,
day?
sir.
All right. I'll start us off. Besides the first quarter where BYU just struggled defensively, BYU just played way better than UCF. Like, we got out of the gate a little bit slow, but overall we had a better offense, better defense. Wasn't really worried throughout the entirety of the game.
Better special teams, too.
Yep.
By a lot.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Shout out to Parker Kingston.
I don't really think there's too much to say about that, but who has something?
Hey, we got our interception.
Yeah.
An interception a game. Shmev,
That was
and we also
funny.
got a fumble recovery.
Yeah.
They ran their trick play and just threw it right to Shmev.
I was like, you fumbled that. So anyway, I
So
was just impressed with the poise, to go down 14-0, but just to know that we weren't worried. We went down 14-0. It was 13-0 at Tech the first time at halftime, and the feeling was that the game was kind of slipping away. It was kind of over. But this game, 14-0, it was frustrating for us because of how we knew we were a better football team in every way. They were playing their best game, and we were playing not our best game. It wasn't even our worst. We just weren't playing up to our standard. And I think once we kind of got hit in the mouth first, we were able to respond nicely. The question is, is that kind of an approach sustainable? I don't think so, but it did work against a mediocre UCF team.
Yeah. All right. One other kind of fun fact. Jack Kelly had 2 sacks against UCF. That makes it 9 on the season for him.
Dang.
And he missed a game.
I don't know if you guys remember this, but at the start of the year, at Big 12 Media Days, he was like, guys, I'm going to get 10 sacks this year. And everyone was like, oh, yeah, he's just saying that. Good for you.
He's just talking.
Like, go for that. But he has a really good chance to get 10 sacks this year. He had 2 against Texas Tech last time. I think he can get another one against Tech. And I'm rooting for him. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Props to Jack Kelly.
I think one concern from the game that I saw was LJ Martin only had 95 yards for 22 carries. Like, that's okay.
Yeah.
I think if we're going to be going against Texas Tech, it needs to be better. But I just want to shout out Parker Kingston. I know that we have some Parker Kingston haters on the podcast.
I wouldn't say haters. I would just say they're not completely confident.
Well, I didn't drop any names. But he was awesome. Like, he was sick. If you watch the cut, we were actually talking about this before the podcast, but there's a clip where he's sitting on the sideline and it looks like he's dead. And they're like, "Can you puke for us on camera again?" Because he puked last year after getting a return. So Parker Kingston was sick. He still came back, had 2 touchdowns. Awesome. LJ Martin had 3 touchdowns. It was an awesome game.
I will say, I think he had a great game, but I also liked what Brandon sent to our little chat thing. Said, like, yeah, he's having a good game, but he needs to do it against a good team. Like, we need to see it next week against Texas Tech. And I'd bet on that if I were a betting man.
Oh, please, Parker, please.
Don't fumble.
Let's go.
Chase Roberts was also out against UCF, but he should be back against Texas Tech. We should have the full gang. Oh,
He did dress for the UCF game, but I think it's smart to just
He dressed, I think, at halftime. I think they pulled his pads off at halftime.
Just take a breather. Get ready for the postseason.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm just going to push back on what Nate said about LJ Martin needing to play better. He needs to put up about that same amount of yards.
Because like 30
we had
Texas
under 70 yards as an offense rushing the football against Texas Tech, excuse me. So if LJ Martin can go for about 100 yards, that means that our run game has been established, and it means that Bear can have a better chance to air it out.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing, LJ Martin, like, he's done so well this season. Our expectations are so high. When he has a near 100-yard game, we're like,
we're like, that's
he
he
could have
didn't
done
really
better.
perform very well. So props to LJ as well. He's doing great.
Another person that overperformed was Bear Bachmeier. He's 21 for 25 in passing for 300 yards. Like, that's insane.
His throws he was making great throws.
On the
Yeah,
money.
if you watched it, some of those passes, they were
Those sideline
bullets.
passes, the 2, JoJo caught 2. They had
Oh, yeah, shout out JoJo Phillips.
Yeah, JoJo Phillips.
Noah
really
Moyaki
well.
caught
He's
one
getting
that was
back.
like an insane. Tiger Bachmeier had a huge 3rd down completion.
Oh,
Yeah,
that one
when he
was
got cooked.
crazy.
Those were
I was kind of lucky, but
Bears
we'll
throws.
take it.
I'll take that as well. Bears throws
And the
were
throw,
incredible.
the throw between the UCF guy who was
Yeah.
like diving for it, and it goes straight in between his hands.
When he
and
caught
head.
when that was Carson Ryan, right?
Yeah, Carson
When
Ryan.
Carson caught that, everybody in the student section was just like, "Ooh!" Like,
Yeah,
everybody at the
everyone's
same
like,
time,
"Oh,
like, "Oh my gosh!" And
okay.
they put it up again, and we all did the same thing again. We're like, it was just such a nice throw. His throwing has come a long way since BYU played Texas Tech the first time.
I'm so excited.
Just watching him in some of like the past games, the ball's behind the receiver. It's like at the knees. All of his throws look like he stepped up in the pocket, kind of scanned the field, and he's able to air the ball out. So
And
Awesome.
not to be like a Debbie Downer, but he had way more time in the backfield than he's going to have against Texas Tech.
Oh yeah,
sure.
So
he's gonna have. He had 4 or 5 seconds. That is currency as a quarterback. When your offensive line can give you that much time to just be free, he's not gonna have that. You're right.
yeah, our offensive line, if we can even just give him 2 seconds, that'd be incredible. But we'll see.
Ty, do you have anything?
Concerns from the game or bright spots?
Concerns, positives,
yeah.
anything? What did you notice?
Honestly, I don't have much from this game. I feel like we just did what we needed to do.
I agree.
It kind of felt like that sort of game.
Yeah.
I don't think we learned much.
Yeah, we just took care of business. I think I'm glad they didn't like overlook it though and make it close because I think that's easy to do. I know we've talked about that with BYU basketball has done that. Like when they played UConn the game before, you felt like they kind of hadn't prepped very well. I feel like that wasn't necessarily the case in this game. We just went out and took care of business and on to the next week.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be a Debbie Downer per se, but we got sacked 4 times, according to ESPN stats and information. And
We
they
did
were
have
all-
our right offensive lineman was out.
That's right.
Oh.
Also, so we just that's something to look for in this next game as well. And that they were all by linebackers or defensive backs. 3 of them, 3 of the 4 sacks are from linebackers. So BYU, they got Jacob Rodriguez on Texas Tech. He's a baller. We got to be able to cover up on that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. We're ready to move on.
Okay, yeah, next segment.
I actually can't remember what it was.
I think it was the chants.
Oh, yeah. Who wants to start us off with that?
All right. I can.
I think this is a good Connor topic.
I don't want to get on a
Connor
soapbox
goes
here.
on a 10-minute monologue.
I already have on this with my dad, talking to my dad about this.
My dad too, bro. This is
but-
like all dads.
But
Oh
it's
my
just,
gosh.
and nothing more needs to. I'm a little disappointed now that we're
Should we
talking
like
about this
give a
now.
preview of what
Yeah,
happened?
yeah.
Yeah,
What's
okay.
going on?
So this is that BYU, specifically in 2 road Big 12 games against Colorado and Cincinnati,
And a
had
couple of times
and a couple of
before,
times. It's
yeah.
happened before.
Arizona State, I think.
It's happened like in the last couple of seasons. It's not a new thing, and so BYU as a football team has not reacted to it as strongly because they just are there to play football. But there are multiple chants with obscenities specifically targeting the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's been happening. Colorado did it when BYU played in Boulder and received a $50,000 fine from the Big 12 Conference. Cincinnati did it again and have not, that I've been able to see, received a fine from having had these chants about the church. And they're not saying anything about the
It's nothing
team.
about the school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the school. And that's my number one problem with it, where it's not about the school. Because I've watched like a lot of like the sideline cameras from like Alabama games. They have like their song and they like say obscenities about Georgia or LSU or Tennessee. And that is okay.
Dixieland
They're
Delight.
they're going after a team. That's different.
I still wouldn't recommend it.
I don't recommend it either. I'm not saying I don't condone it, but I'm just saying that's acceptable for them to do. But going after a religion is a level of hate speech that is unnecessary. And I think that it just needs to stop. And I think the Big 12, I'm a little disappointed that there's been no fine so far that I've heard of. Big 12 fining Cincinnati for that, because if you're not condoning it, if you're not condemning it in this case, you're allowing it to happen. And I feel like right now it's being allowed to happen and it's hurting BYU in ways that the scoreboard will never reflect.
And I really like Texas Tech. When BYU went on the road to play Texas Tech, they announced before the game over the loudspeaker, hey, there's been these chants going on regarding BYU and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That's not acceptable. Like, we will not let this happen. Do not do this. And I think that's great. But I also feel like when it gets to a point where you have to do that, something's already gone too far. And I don't have any like ways like, oh, this will fix it. This will fix it. But at least Texas Tech's doing what they can to help, and I think that's great.
Yeah, that was pretty cool when their basketball coach came out and told everybody not to do that. Let her respect.
That was class.
I think one thing, we're all in a communications class, and one thing that we've been learning this year is about the different
Nate
types.
just pulled out his communications
Yeah.
notes, by the way.
We're learning about like types of communication in specific like governments and stuff. And so there's like authoritarian, there's a social responsibility, there's like communist, But then the one that we are in the United States is we're libertarian. People can say, right? Yeah,
No, we're not.
Social-
we're
social
responsibility.
Oh, fetch. Okay, sorry. We're
There goes
social.
my
We're
whole
social. Yeah, here we go. We're social responsibility. Basically, people could say whatever they want. They can say whatever they want, but there's got to be consequences, because you can say a lot of awful things that should not be said, and that is protected in your amendment rights or whatever. But you also need to receive consequences. You need to get fined. Something needs to happen. There's got to be like an on-the-field penalty. And I think as members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I don't want to speak for all of us. I can speak for myself. I'm kind of getting used to just like people like hating on the church. And I think we've just gotten numb to the whole thing. And I think at some point we got to stand up and be like, it's not okay. Because we just, every single time we just smile, we're like, oh, yep, we're just going to be Christ-like. We're just going to let people run over us. And one of the attributes of Jesus Christ is meekness, right? And meekness doesn't necessarily mean let people run over you. Let them just like destroy you over and over again. It's be meek, be willing to stand up for what you believe in, but also like when there's a problem, when something's wrong, also stand up and do that. An example that we see in the Bible is, Jesus Christ cleanses the temple. He's not like, oh, guys, please don't sell things in the temple, right? That's not a lot. No, he cleanses it and he fixes it, and he shows meekness. And I think at some point, us as members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, members of fans of BYU, fans of Utah, fans of UCF, people who are members of the Church of Jesus Christ in other team fandoms, you just got to stand up and be like, guys, this isn't right. We got to implement penalties. We've got to find somebody. We got to fix this.
Guys, Nate is dropping some bars.
Dude, he's
today.
on fire today.
Sorry to bring it down.
No, bro, that's it. That's what it's all about. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Just something for people to think about. That's it. Just if you're a member of the church, then your job is to defend. If you're not, you can still respect. Like we all can all get along. We're all in this case, we're all
in
this together. We're all Christians.
We're all in this trying to enjoy the game of football together, and there's no reason that you should bring religion into it necessarily in that particular way.
And it just sucks that we have to talk about it, you know? Like, just don't touch religion. Don't touch any other stuff. Do your trash talk in some other way. Like,
Trash talk is so fun. Like, it's
If you
great.
can back it up. There's nothing. It's part of
do
sports.
a different way.
But it's also all right. It's also uncreative as heck. Like, come on, it's the same chant by everybody. If you're gonna mix it up, do something, bro. Anyway,
Yeah.
I
Ty,
think that's enough about that.
do you have
Unless Ty
anything,
has
Ty?
more.
I think you pretty much covered everything.
Nate covered
Sounds good.
everything.
Sorry,
Yes,
guys.
sir.
No.
No, pop up.
That's awesome. All right, are we ready to move to our last topic, this Texas Tech
Wait,
game?
can we talk about the college football playoffs too?
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
can talk about playoffs.
See, there's just
There's just
too
so
much
much.
today.
There's
Kind
so
of
much
hard that
today,
we
guys.
do this show like right before the rankings drop. So
Yeah,
it's like,
it
yeah, we
stinks.
could talk about
the
it, but
rankings
it doesn't
will drop
really matter.
In
Okay.
half an hour, we'll have pretty much have the.
Let's
rankings.
just talk about like what we think then. Like not what we think it should be.
We should
Like,
do a live
What do
show
we
sometime.
think it's going to be?
Yeah.
Not that. Let's talk about what should it be. Should BYU be in the playoff right now?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I think yes.
Yeah, I think
The
so.
fact that Utah fans are posting on social media, we hate BYU, but they should be in the playoff, is like a testament.
Mind-blowing.
We're agreeing, bro. Like, can you just talk about that for a second? Like,
BYU and Utah agreeing.
agreeing because we both know like that it's definitely fixed in a way that BYU cannot get in unless
You
they're
know
on
what?
the table.
What was really disappointing is Oklahoma and who was it? Alabama. Both those teams played very close games this past weekend. If they would have lost,
both
BYU's
Georgia, too.
chances go up.
They both
And
hurt.
then, well,
Georgia.
if Georgia lost,
Georgia
it
wasn't
wouldn't
that
really affect
Georgia
us.
wasn't that close this weekend. They won by more.
Anyway,
Was it like 9-13 though? 9-13.
No, there was
it was 16-9.
Oh yeah,
It
16
was
to 9.
two close games, and both teams won, so that kind of sucked. But
Man, it's because you can't ask Auburn to deliver.
Yeah.
they almost did.
Wide receiver, get out of bounds.
I
was
saw that
yelling
and
at
I
my
almost threw something. I was like, "Don't get the freak
I
out
was
of
on
bounds."
the, I was
Hey,
on
you
the
guys
phone
should see
with
Brandon watching the games. Oh my gosh.
I was on the. I was,
Let me tell this story. So I bring Brandon over to my house for one of the games, and I was like, okay, this will be great. All the boys are coming over.
this
is
was the
fine.
Texas Tech game, by the
And
way.
we sat down, and then I was like, oh crap. Like, my parents are going to be so confused on why there's like so much screaming coming from the basement. But Brandon held it in check. I was very impressed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Brandon's a screamer. You're a
I w-
screamer when you're watching
Yes,
sports?
I am actually.
He
I was
is.
on the phone with my sister watching the Auburn game, the last drive. Auburn had to go get a touchdown to tie it
Man,
up.
that hurt.
And the guy fumbled. I was like, no! My sister's like, what happened?
I was like, "Get out of bounds." He like would have gotten like 2 more yards. I'm like, "Just get out of bounds." He stopped the clock anyway. It was so dumb.
Anyway, let's talk about the college football playoff. BYU. Oh, go ahead, Nate.
I have a quick fun fact. Just for the playoffs, BYU has 6 wins over bowl eligible opponents. Behind them, they're first. Behind them, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio State, Texas A&M, Alabama, Notre Dame, USC, Tulane, Oregon, Vanderbilt, Miami, Pitt, Texas Tech, Georgia, Mississippi, San Diego State, Utah, Texas, Arizona, Washington, Tennessee, Navy. They're all behind BYU. BYU is first in the Big 12 in strength of schedule, and that is ahead of Ohio State, Indiana, and Notre Dame. They have a better record.
Yeah. There's also some stats. Like, obviously we're biased towards BYU. There are some stats that point to, hey, maybe BYU isn't the best team. Like, we have a great strength of record. How many AP top 25 teams have we played? Only 2. Like,
How many
a lot
has
more.
Ohio State played?
Well,
2?
I'm not talking about Ohio State and Indiana. There's like some SEC teams that are like farther up there, which the 2 losses especially. But then, I mean, you look
2
at Ohio,
losses, but you look at who they. I'm sorry. This is
Yeah,
this
go
is
ahead,
also what I'm
go.
talking about.
I
yeah.
mean, like you look at who Alabama has beaten, and it's like, come on, guys. Like, who are we trying to fool here? We have not beaten Georgia. We have not beaten a Tennessee. We have not beaten a Vanderbilt. Like, those are very good teams.
Alabama
that
played one of the
Alabama
best
has
schedules
beaten.
in the entire country.
Alabama may have 2 losses, but they are no slouch.
Okay, but what about like a team like Notre Dame? Because Notre Dame's like, we should be in it because we lost to good teams.
Can I say something?
Get in there because you beat
2
big
words. 2 words. Style points. Notre Dame beats teams by a lot. Texas Tech beats teams by a lot, and those teams are up there. Like Texas Tech, BYU, you put them side by side, blind resume. Besides the head-to-head win, like I would say, they're like right by each other in the college football playoff, right? No, it's 5-11.
Well, look at the style points against Notre Dame and Stanford, and then
Yeah.
BYU and Stanford, right? You look at style points, and there's so many arguments that could be happen. Do you know what I'm saying to Notre Dame fans? Replace BYU's 2 losses to Texas A&M and Ohio State, and we have the same argument that you guys do, but instead of that, we have 2 wins. Right?
Yeah.
We have wins. We're 11-1. If BYU doesn't make it, you're telling a BYU team that they have to be unblemished.
Yeah, that's not
They
fair.
have to go 12-0 to make it.
And look at who Notre Dame has played. I'm sorry, but this is just ridiculous.
It's a sorry schedule, except
They-
for the
Okay,
they
so
got 2 good wins, 2 decent wins, and their losses are the best teams they've played.
they played Miami and lost. Okay, whatever.
Which Miami is not a really good team.
I don't think Miami's that great. Texas A&M, and it was a 1-point
they're
game.
pretty good.
Okay, so there's a quality loss. So we have one, that probably wasn't a very good loss. A quality loss. And then they played Purdue, blew them out. Played Arkansas, blew them out. Played Boise State, NC State. Played USC. Okay. Boston College, Navy, Pittsburgh, Syracuse, Stanford. That is the sorry schedule.
And
is
Stanford scored
ridiculous.
20 on them. Stanford got
Be
20,
honest, though.
and they had 3 on BYU.
I am not
BYU's
impressed.
schedule's kind of similar.
But it's not as soft as that. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
It's similar,
lot.
but
It's
there's
way
a
better.
team that should be in, and it's not Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, the committee messed that up from the very start.
Yeah, and
put
now
a
they can't fix
They
it.
put a 6-2 Notre Dame team at number 10 after Notre Dame beat Boston College 25-10. That was the last game that Notre Dame played before the first rankings release, and they put them at 10. So there was definitely it's just favoritism. You have to call it what it is. They're not, whoever's in there is not thinking.
No, they should not be
about
in
the right
It's
thing.
it's frustrating that I feel like the recency bias is so big. BYU beats now an Arizona team that's looking like they were actually really good all season
They
on
are
the
ranked
road.
now. They are ranked now.
An Arizona team on the road, and then if you look back at Alabama, just this one gets me. Alabama losing to Florida State, which Florida State is not a good team.
That's
the one that gets me. I'm like, they lost to them, but we're not really thinking about that anymore because it happened at the start of the season.
Wait, could someone remind me who BYU lost to?
Texas
The
Tech,
number-
the
number five?
team.
That's our only
Now-
loss. That's crazy.
now
On
number
the road.
4.
He
Now
loved
number
it.
4.
He loved
Number
it.
4 in the country. Now they will be
At
as a
this
You
college
stage.
think they'll
football.
jump?
They will jump because Texas A&M lost,
Oh yeah.
and so they will jump to number 4 in the college football playoff, and that's not good enough to get you in. That's this season.
Yeah.
It is the case study this year is BYU, but in the past there's been injustices in the playoff been exposed by other teams. There was a year that there's been a lot of different controversies with this system. BYU is just the latest example of many. Do you guys think there's a way how can they fix this system so then this doesn't happen?
It's
this
hard.
year it's BYU, but what if it is in the future?
Because, like, I'm going to be 100% honest. If I was an SEC fan, I'd be like, the SEC has such a tough schedule every year. Like, why are we giving these bids to, like, these Big 12 teams who they don't play anyone, blah, 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 blah.
I feel
you
like
know? So, I don't know.
I get that argument, but I feel like if we're going to eliminate someone based on that argument, it needs to be the auto bid teams. Like, why are Tulane and Miami going to get in this playoff? I just don't understand.
Probably not Miami.
Or the fact that Duke and Virginia have a shot.
Right,
Duke's
yeah.
7-5.
I don't think Duke really has a shot. If they win, I
Because
think it'll
the-
just be some other.
I know, but the
Conference
fact that they have an opportunity is ridiculous.
It's crazy.
They have 5 losses. They have 5
Yeah.
losses, and they have an
Kinda sucks.
opportunity to make it.
Like, why, as football fans, do we want that matchup? You
No one
can't tell
does.
me you would rather have Tulane and who does the 12 seed play first?
5.
The 5. Who's the 5 right now?
Probably Georgia.
Probably
Georgia.
Not Georgia. Wow, Georgia.
Texas Tech's
Actually,
number 5 right now.
Put a maybe Texas
think.
A&M would be.
But like, why would you?
Oregon.
That's not going to
Yeah,
be much of a
you-
game,
you want-
honestly.
It's not.
Like,
You want Duke, Oregon?
you would way rather have a solid Big
serious?
12 team in that game
Yeah.
for some good
Yeah.
football.
So
There's-
here's the solution: fix it and make it 24 teams.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Hold on.
no.
Here's
Well,
here's
I don't know if we'd
here's
make
why.
it to the end
Too
of that.
much.
Here's why 24 teams.
Okay,
You can
I'll
have
argue about this all day. There's no
Okay.
way you can argue that 24 teams legitimately have a chance to win the college football playoff.
I say everyone in the top 25 gets an opportunity. We don't have this stupid argument every single year.
Then you have an argument about who should be number 24.
Okay.
Like, it's still
Well,
going to be an
but,
argument.
But the thing is
It
you
was
can
an
have
argument
like
at 4. It's an argument at 12.
it's going to go
gonna
all
be
the
an
way to
argument
64. It's going to be December and January madness.
well, exactly. You'll find out all of like the good teams, like
That's
the actual good teams.
But then, like, at that point, you got 5, 6. I don't know exactly. I'm not good at mental math, but you got 5 or 6 games. These guys are going to the NFL. They're like, I don't want to play 6 more games. All the wear and tear
Right.
that's going to do
That's
on
true.
my body.
That's true.
Like,
Yeah,
there's going to be
this-
so many
this
guys who
isn't
sit
basketball.
out.
That
But
would
also
not
think
work.
about the money.
They make so much money.
They'll
at
make
it.
so
Okay,
much
maybe the
money.
only thing I could see is if
And
you have.
do you know what the playoff committee loves the most? They love their money. And every Tuesday they have ESPN broadcast their stupid show, and they
Whoa.
Tell us how you really feel, mate.
Okay, can I say something real quick? The one,
It was a good
The
try.
one thing that I would say for you, Nate, is maybe you have a play in, like the NBA. Like, you've got the teams.
That
and
would
then,
be
like,
sick.
after championship
Dang
week,
good idea. Holy crap. There's no way that I thought of
Brandon.
that.
you just have like the 24-2, or maybe not 24.
Just
Maybe
keep it
it's
at just keep it at the 12-team playoff and do a
maybe
play-in.
it's like 18, like, or 16. Maybe you just have like
16
2
with a
play-in
play-in.
games.
Yeah.
So you have guys that are on the fringe. Then you can have like teams
You can have
like
all these bubble teams
like
play.
yeah, all the bubble teams.
Bring
And then
Miami to
just
Provo, bro.
decide.
Let Schmev go to town on Carson Beck. I swear on my life.
I will say, can I say
Carson-
one thing?
We can start
or-
talking about Carson Beck for a long time.
One thing not about BYU. I'm a bit confused why Vanderbilt is so far. I feel like Vanderbilt should be higher. Their 2 losses are on the road to Alabama and Texas.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like that was like a timing
They just
thing.
it
It was a timing where they lost right as other teams won.
yeah, and then
That's it.
the committee just puts people here, and then if you don't lose, if someone in front of you doesn't lose,
They can't-
Like, they're not going to jump
The
you. They're not
committee
going
from
to
the first
reevaluate.
they were
stuff.
bad from the first rankings.
That's
they,
why-
they were off on Notre Dame. They put Utah too high initially. Utah has earned their way up back to where they are. I think Utah was placed too high, but they can't fix it now, and so that has made it BYU a problem. If they've wanted to move us around, if we do lose again, they can't really because we still have that head-to-head against Utah. They can't do that, and so it's kind of just in shambles this year. I feel like, and maybe that's I don't know why that is.
It's pretty fun though. Like if we're being
It's fun to
honest,
talk about.
It is
it's
so
fun
fun.
to
It's
talk
fun to
about.
talk about.
They get their goal, and also I guess. The fact, guys, that BYU joined a power conference 3 years ago, and we're having this conversation on if we can make the college football playoff is incredible.
It's pretty awesome.
I was pinching myself. We played Cincinnati last week, and I remember I went back and forth, and I was talking to my dad, and I was like, I remember my dad and I went to a game against. We went to a
What was that for?
BYU.
Breaking news alert.
Breaking news while we're recording the podcast. Sorry, we're gonna cut you off.
Is it
Breaking
official,
news
Kalani?
from BYU.
It is
official
official.
news that BYU is going to extend Kalani
Again.
Sitake.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Quote: We are excited to announce a long-term agreement. Extend what? Sorry, I don't know how to read. We are excited to announce a long-term agreement to extend Kalani Sitake as BYU's head coach. He is a proven leader, and we're grateful that he is once again choosing BYU. His legacy of building a championship program the BYU way will continue on. He is one of the best people in the business, and we are excited to continue to ride the way of positive momentum with him.
Yes.
There you go.
Let's go.
Sorry, Connor. We
that's
just
really hype.
totally interrupted
No.
you. But
That's
sorry.
good. I'm glad to have that.
This
I'm
is
glad to
like
have
as
that.
of 30 seconds ago. So
That was just now. Let's go, guys.
Yeah, Nate
But-
was looking across the table like, oh, look at this. I was like, show me your phone.
No, like That's just like how high profile that Kalani's become. This program has really taken off, and I just want to enjoy it. Like, whatever happens, we're about to talk about Texas Tech game real quick, but we've put ourselves in an incredible position to make the playoff potentially. And it's just, I was pinching myself about the Cincinnati game because I went to BYU when they played Cincinnati like 2016, 2017. Tanner Mangan was the quarterback, and it was like they were in the American, we were independent. There was no stakes. When we played them last week, that was like high stakes. Like, we ended up clinching the Big 12 championship berth off of that game. And so just that's where we're going is incredible. The trajectory, and it's not just a temporary thing. We're here to stay, and I think that's important to realize.
Yeah, and we just got to remember all of this gets thrown out the window if BYU wins against Texas Tech this Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's
Yes, sir.
It's a good time to transition to our final segment, unless you guys have something else you want to say.
That is A-okay.
BYU versus Texas Tech for the Big 12 championship. It'd be both BYU and Texas Tech first time winning a Big 12 championship.
Ooh.
So it's going to be a first-timer for somebody. But one thing that I've noticed from this season, and this could be totally coincidental, but BYU hasn't played well in the morning.
Yep.
Like the two games against Texas Tech,
Yeah.
like we really struggled. That was in the morning. And then against UCF, we start out losing 14-0 against UCF. So I'm just really hoping we don't start slow. We can lock in because BYU usually plays later in the day.
8:15.
So hopefully, like, the time doesn't mess us up. We did just have a morning game, so maybe that'll help. I don't know. Just something to look out for.
That is true.
One thing I do want to mention, I don't know if this is true. I don't know if it's true. I don't have a source. If I did have a source, I would quote it right now. But from what I understand is it's going to be about 50% blue, 50% red
That's the other thing.
for
yeah.
tickets.
For tickets.
For
though.
tickets that have been
They're split
sold,
evenly.
Gotcha.
it's split evenly BYU and Texas Tech. And it's in Texas. I was a little bit worried that it was going to be in Texas and Texas Tech would just have a home field advantage. But it sounds like Cougar Nation's pulling up and they're going to show up and show
This is the
out.
first time BYU's ever been in a major conference championship game.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Guys,
And
Everybody
it's
will be there.
awesome.
And it's number 11 BYU versus number 5 Texas Tech.
Cat,
We'll see if-
are we
we'll
flying
see.
out doing a live pod from
Yes.
Jerry World?
Dude,
That'd be
that'd be
crazy.
so
Cheez-Its, sponsor us.
Cheez-Its.
Send us out there.
Jerry World, I will say, yeah, it's so exciting, guys. I think the power of a rematch, I think, could be very evident here.
I think so too.
BYU, we watch film really good, and we make adjustments not just at halftime, but between games really well.
Yeah.
And we plug up the problems. I think having film of our offense against their defense and of their offense against our defense will give BYU an edge to make this closer. I'm not sure we can win just because Texas Tech is capable of winning the national championship. But I think the game will be so much closer just because of the adjustments that we're able to make offensively, defensively, in all aspects of the game.
That's a really good point. I feel like I'm like sort of like I'm forgetting the name. What was the team that beat Purdue in March Madness a couple years ago?
Number 16.
Yeah. Was it?
Farley Dickinson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the Fairleigh Dickinson coach, where he's like, the more I watch them, the more I think we can beat them.
Yeah.
Because like at the start of this week, I was like, yeah, BYU's can get wrecked by Tech. But like the more I think about it, BYU has a decent chance at winning this game.
Oh,
Yep.
for sure.
Nobody's been counting on, like, every playoff prediction, every article, they're counting us out from the start. They're like, BYU has no chance of winning this game. Like, they're like, BYU as a automatic bid is going to need some help from the outside. It's like, not if we just win. If we win the game, we don't need any outside help. And we're capable of winning this game. People have looked at our common opponents that we've played with Tech. They look at the game, obviously. That's their biggest tell right now. But so much has happened since, and BYU, this is a different team coming in.
Yeah, and I liked what you said about the power of a rematch. Like before this, I think I was talking to someone and I was saying, if we have to play Tech again, I'd rather lose the first game, right? So then we can come in hungry. We can come in with we have nothing to lose, right?
Yeah, they're kind of comfortable right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And I mean, you look at like what happened with the Jazz this weekend. Different sport, different league, whatever.
Rematch still the same, yeah.
Rematch. We played the Rockets on Sunday and we got cooked. Played the Rockets last night and we won.
Yeah.
It's possible. And that was a back-to-back. So this will be a little different, but same idea.
For the Texas Tech BYU game, just some quick stuff. The spread is 12.5.
I think it opened at 13.5, so went down.
Texas Tech is 66.6%. And
Oh, yeah,
BYU
I
is
saw that. I was like,
33.4%.
I think it's a little different than that. But.
And they're both 11-1. It's going to be 50 degrees in Arlington, Texas at 10 a.m. on December 6th. They're going to be playing on ABC. So it's going to be a great game between two really good teams. I think everything that Ty mentioned of the rematch is definitely going to apply. I also think Texas Tech is watching film, and they're going to be kind of expecting a BYU team that's kind of, I don't know, that gets down easily in the very first half. I don't know why that happens. So BYU's just got to avoid getting into major holes. They've got to not turn the ball over. I think Bear Bachmeier is at his prime in this entire season so far. This is the best I've ever seen Bear Bachmeier. Go into this game with a great positive mental attitude. You know, we fight like we're the third monkey going onto Noah's Ark. And
Whoa, that was a poll.
if we lose this game, we're 11-2, and we lost to the number 5 team twice who could potentially win the national championship. And I just wanted to echo what Kalani Sitake said in his very most recent news press release. He says, BYU is a playoff contending team, and he wants both teams, Texas Tech and BYU, represented in the college football playoff. It's been amazing to be in the Big 12, and he thinks the Big 12 deserves to have 2 teams going into the college football playoff. And that's something coming from Kalani Sitake, because he doesn't usually talk BYU up like, hey, put us in the playoffs. He never says that, but you know what? He's standing out and he's saying that, so phenomenal.
A little bit of breaking news. As we've been talking, the new college football playoff rankings are being released. BYU stays at number 11, and they're just out of the college football playoff again.
Bro.
Not anything
really
we didn't
surprising.
expect. Anyway, this game, battle of the running backs. LJ Martin, top running back in the Big 12 in terms of yards. Cameron Dickey, he's at number 3 in the Big 12 in terms of yards.
He cooked us last game.
He just destroyed us. One more thing. I feel like BYU has completely relied on LJ Martin all year. Like, no other running back has really been in there doing stuff. But guess what?
What?
Sione Moa is back.
Are you
He is going to
serious?
be back against Texas Tech.
He is going to be
Hopefully
back.
we have some good running back depth there, and he comes out strong. But yeah, that could be huge for
That could
BYU.
really help.
He has only been to one practice as of last Tuesday.
Hey,
Hey, he's still back.
you start somewhere.
He is back.
And this is a big – I definitely agree with that, Brandon, especially because of the defensive side. Offensively, BYU and Texas Tech are 2 of the best rushing teams in the conference. But defensively, they are also 2 of the best. Defensively, Texas Tech is giving up just under 70 yards a game. BYU is giving up 119 yards a game. And it's just – Texas Tech has only been scored on 5 rushing touchdowns this whole season. They've been dominant in the rushing attack. BYU early, I think, has to try and establish this run game to be able to then open up, because that just didn't happen in the first game where we did not establish a running identity, and they made Bear kind of have to throw it. It's not necessary if they just want Bear to just air it out. That also could work, but I think in this game we cannot be one-sided.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Texas Tech, just a little quip. They've outscored their opponents 97-9 since the BYU game, and that's 2 games. So they are a great offensive team and a fantastic defensive team. If BYU wants to win this game, I think one of the keys is not turning the ball over. We turned it over 3 times last time, a pick and 2 fumbles, and it felt like every time was just a balloon deflating. All of our hope just gone.
Yeah.
And if BYU wants to win, we just got to take care of the ball. We got to win the turnover margin.
Yes.
If we can just force stuff.
Yeah, we just got to give ourselves a chance. You know, like last game, it got away from us so fast. I feel like we all knew it was over. Like
By halftime.
Yeah,
Maybe first play
earlier,
after
we
halftime.
just need to get ourselves close, and then I think we'll have a shot.
Well,
And keeping not turning the ball over is really going to help us do that.
I do want to remind us all that BYU held Texas Tech to like 5 field goals.
Five field goals.
In the red zone.
BYU's defense was able to hold them, and I think we'll be able to do that again this game. But I just want to say exactly what Ty just said. Hold onto the ball. Don't give the ball to the other team. Punt and pin. pull out every wild card, do some crazy trick plays. It's going to be a miracle if BYU is able to win this game, but that's what BYU does best. We do miracles.
That is one thing.
I'm going 3 for 3, baby.
Dang.
BYU had horrible field position against Texas Tech in their first game.
Oh man.
And if we can at least force a 3 and out, get some good field position. Come on. We got it. I believe in the Cougs. Anyone have anything to say, or are we ready to wrap this thing up?
I have something to end us off on.
All right, let's do it.
Can I go first?
Yeah,
before-
You go first. You go first.
I don't have something to end up, but just quarterback comparison. Baron Morton, he's still not 100% healthy. He's still been battling. Even they announced on the injury report before West Virginia that he's still been nursing this leg injury.
He's
He's not going to be as mobile, and this is a time where it matters most that he can escape the pocket, because that's what UCF, their quarterback, got them within arm's reach for a second because he was escaping the pocket. It looked like Patrick Mahomes out there. I was impressed with him. Baron Morton will not be able to do that. If Jack Kelly is running him down, he is not going to be able to outrun him.
And Glasgow,
he's not going to be able to outrun them. So I think that could definitely play into it. Just Bear being able to run. And I was going to say something else, and I don't even remember. So I think that's probably it. Just make him feel uncomfortable early and go after him and get that 3 and out.
Yeah. All right, Ty, end us. Let's do it.
Okay. Have you all seen the movie Miracle on Ice?
Maybe.
Not the
Okay.
movie.
That's okay.
I know the clip. I know.
Before their final game, their coach, it's about the USA hockey team. Their coach says,
Good movie.
he's talking to the team. He says, great moments are born from great opportunity. And that's what you have here tonight, boys. Tonight, we are the greatest hockey team in the world. BYU has a great opportunity on Saturday. And I think we can do this, We can make some magic happen.
Let's get it done.
Let's go get it done.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to the podcast this week. We will see you next week after BYU beats Texas Tech. Go
Heck
Cougs!
yeah.
We need to run that back if we lose. Just kidding.
Go Cougs! Go Cougs! Go Cougs! Dang, we covered everything.
That was good.
That was a little...
1 hour.
It was long.